All right, guys, how's it going? Now, before I get into this video, I just want to point out I have a throat and chest infection, so I might be a little bit, Barry White or whatever, with the voice, and I might have to clear my throat occasionally, so I do apologise. I will be live on here at 2 o'clock this afternoon, UK time, if you want to come along for a natter. I'm also doing a watch-along throughout this evening's game. If you're watching the game in peace or whatever, but you want to jump on at half-time, or full-time, whatever, please do. But yeah, I will do a watch-along during tonight's game. Although I might not be screaming too much because of my voice. Okay, so how are you doing? You all right? Good. So, is Liverpool Football Club for sale? Right? Is Liverpool Football Club for sale? That seems to be the main talking point at the moment. As you know, I've been away in England for a couple of weeks nearly, and I just got back. And most of the stuff, like the rumours really at the moment, are to do with that, and. To be honest with you, I think that you're being played by the so-called aggregator accounts or whatever, and websites, your so-called fan sites that just want to manipulate and like give you hope and that if you're wanting the ownership to be, to have a change in ownership. I don't believe any of the stuff that I'm seeing at the moment whatsoever, and certainly nobody is commenting to the contrary. That would be worth listening to. However, Liverpool Football Club is always for sale. Everything in the world is for sale. Everything in the world has got a price, right? Well, maybe your missus hasn't, but then again, maybe that's the easiest thing to sell and get rid of. But you know what I mean? Like, if you're in business, let's rephrase it. If you're in business, everything has a price. And FSG are no different to any other business people. They're continually speaking to, important people, investors, and, it's going to come up in conversation all the time. So would you sell? Would it be available? Blah, blah, blah. The continuing or ongoing vibe and message that I receive all the time is that Liverpool Football Club is for sale. They would sell, but as yet, nothing has come along that has interested them. Now, earlier this month, I posted on the Cop Talk members website. I think the topic is Liverpool for sale, and it was a really good email that I'd received from someone. It's still there actually, because I just had a look at it before I came on. I needed to refresh my memory, and reasons were given as to why Liverpool Football Club could be for sale. And sorry, I just had an absolute brain freeze. Why Liverpool Football Club could be for sale. And it was a very good email and a very good discussion, and it's several pages long. Do go and have a look at it if you're on the members website. And on that, before I get to that, so obviously there's this notorious account on X, aka Twitter, that generates a lot of speculation and rumor mongering, and it's more of a parody account, but people take it seriously for some reason. I guess it's just I don't know. Anyway, they put out an exclusive yesterday, which I'll probably do a separate video about. And one part of this exclusive, because they listed 3 different things, was that, I'll read it exactly as it is in text. Reliable source has told us that high-ranking FSG officials are currently in Saudi Arabia regarding investment. Now, we know that FSG are exploring other sporting investments. And this is where this is all coming from. And people are trying to suggest that, it's the football clubs come up for discussion now, and I'm not even going to go into it, right? What I will say is that a couple of weeks ago, which is totally separate to this, right now, I want you to bear with me. A couple of weeks ago, I posted on the members website on that same thread that where it was discussed is Liverpool up for sale. I think it was maybe 3 weeks ago I posted, I can't remember. I said as follows: Dynasty Equity are establishing new connections in the Middle East. I might have more on this soon, not that it's necessarily to do with Liverpool Football Club. I am watching them. Now, I don't know if I said at the time who I was watching. I know I was going to, but I genuinely can't remember if I've mentioned this person in a video or a podcast or anything. I can't remember. But basically, I received information that this chap here, K. Don Cornwell, co-founder and chief executive officer of Dynasty Equity. All right, you only need to Google Dynasty Equity in Liverpool to understand the connection here. And additionally, I should point out Dynasty Equity. Oh, sorry. Oh, gosh, what did I do there? Dynasty Equity. If you go to the About Us page. Oh, no, sorry, our team. All right, so here he is. Yeah, K. Don Cornwell, the co-founder and chief executive officer, right? On here, David Ginseng, the senior advisor. Yeah, we spoke about him many times before on here. He's a senior advisor at Dynasty Equity. He's the vice chairman of Fenway Sports Group. And he's vice chairman of Liverpool Football Club, right? So when Dynasty Equity got involved with FSG and Liverpool Football Club, it made me, that was the first sign to me that there was going to be, that they were planning a sale, all right, that they were planning a future sale, because Dynasty Equity, minor investment, I know there's been discussion recently as to whether it went into Liverpool or whatever, or whether it was FSG, but you need to look out for Rich T on the members website, I think. Listen to what Rich T says about all this. He's a very clued up friend of mine. And he does comment on my videos as well. So look in the comment section. You might see, if you don't see him now, he'll probably pop up overnight or something. And Rich will explain to you a little bit about Dynasty Equity and what companies like this, investment groups usually do like this, in terms of when they expect money back and why they would get involved with Liverpool with no say in Liverpool Football Club, right? So Dynasty Equity is advised, right, by, well, they've got a senior advisor who is the vice chairman of Fenway, right? So he obviously knows what FSG's intentions are. He then links up with Dynasty Equity. So what I'm trying to say here is that Dynasty Equity obviously know what Fenway's plans are, and they're only going to invest into organisations where they can make money. That's the whole point of investing, right? How do they make money? They can only make money as the minor investor in this organisation from a club sale. So why did Dynasty Equity invest in Liverpool Football Club, right? So Kate Don Cornwell, the co-founder and chief executive officer, I was given information about establishing these new connections in the Middle East. And that's what I posted on the members website. So when you then get, these notorious accounts coming out on social media saying reliable sources have told us that high-ranking FSG officials are currently in Saudi Arabia regarding investment, I could latch on to that, couldn't I? And go, see, I told you guys, I told you to keep an eye on this fella. This is, he's out there, this is what they're doing. But I'm not going to do that, right? Because I don't believe the authenticity of what that X account is claiming. And we already know that high-ranking FSG officials are currently involved in various other sporting opportunities. Or, we know about the golf and things like that. So these accounts are just trying to, gain interest, and the more people that view, that comment, the more revenue you make on X now if you're monetized. Through advertising on X. I said this, if you remember, a year or two ago, I said X is going to become terrible for it because, you can get monetized. The more interaction, the more you make on X. And of course, then I saw one Liverpool fans website yesterday come out with a suggestion that, Newcastle's owners would want Liverpool and all this. And I just feel that all of these people at the moment are just exploiting the situation and some gentle rumours. And what I would rather do is stick with what people have told me, and that is to keep an eye on him, all right? To keep an eye on him. Now, I'm not going to give away, right, everything that I know. I don't mean from you, my viewer, all right? Because you know I love you guys, yeah? We're not really bothered about the casual viewers that have stumbled on this video. I'm talking about the community that's here. I don't mean I'm withholding anything from you, but I think if I say a little bit too much about this chap, then people that do want to exploit you and whatnot, they will find where I'm getting this from. And I don't want to do that at the moment. But what I can tell you is that this chap is appearing all over the place at the moment. And I've been listening to some things he's been saying in interviews. Obviously, interviews and that are obviously out there publicly. You can watch them, you can listen to podcasts, you can do whatever. But I just don't want to help people that would maybe mislead you as well. Does that make sense? And I know that those of you that have followed me for how many years now? We're into our 27th year. Know you can trust me, right? So I'm keeping an eye on this chap. In fact, I think when I said on the members website, I'm watching them. I didn't name who it was I was watching at the time because I really didn't want to give people out there, I didn't want to help them because these people, right, there's certain X accounts watch what I post on the members website and copy word for word what I say. So I just wanted to keep it a little bit quiet at the time. So I don't know if I mentioned this dude or not. I can't remember, but I'm back now and I think it's fair to mention it because I did talk about that this group, investment group that's tied in with Liverpool and FSG are establishing new connections in the Middle East. But I did say it might not necessarily be anything to do with Liverpool Football Club. But if you pay attention to what this chap's saying, right, if you read his interviews, if you watch videos, if you listen to podcasts, you can pick up a wealth of information. And I have done that, but I'm not going to put all that out there because it'll help other people. And I think that they will manipulate you and mislead you. They can go and do their own work. So in summary, the reason for this video, is Liverpool Football Club for sale? Yes, Liverpool Football Club's been for sale since they first bought it, right? They put the club up for sale in November 2022, was it? Do you remember I was at St James's Park walking around outside? I was on a little weekend up in Newcastle, do you remember? And I went, made a video or something about it. But at the same time, Manchester United went up for sale, and I think that greatly affected things. And as was discussed on the members website the other week in that email, which was also discussed on the podcast, there are theories or suggestions that FSG are going to revisit that now, and that's why they've structured everything, got this new structure in place, complete from top to bottom, restructured everything ahead of a potential sale. Some people might say, yeah, but then where does that leave Edwards and that if the club is sold? Well, he's in football, right? Head of football with FSG, and that's their intentions is to buy another club. And I think that what they will do, what I think their long-term idea is to invest in a particular sport or team or whatever franchise in the US. And I think they're going to need a great deal of capital to do that. And I think the only way they can do that is by selling Liverpool. All right, so I'm sure this video probably hasn't helped you. I don't know. I've been away for a couple of weeks. I'm a bit rusty and I'm obviously not very well. But I think I'm just trying to say to you that I think the club's always for sale, despite what they say, because the amount of times they've said it's not for sale, but they've had sit-down conversations with people. Oh yeah, the club's not for sale. But what are you going to say anyway? If you knock on my front door today and say to me, is your house for sale? I'd go, no. Oh, right, it's just that we're looking for something like this. Well, would I shut the gate and go, all right, okay. Or would you go, well, just as a matter of interest, what would you be with? Do you know what I mean? And if someone really wants something that you don't want to sell, they're going to offer you top wedge. So maybe I could be convinced. So my house, no, actively, I am not looking to sell my property. But if you knock on my front door, yeah, I might listen to what you've got to say because it might benefit me. So in business, it's always for sale, right? So just want to point that out. I think the club's always for sale, regardless of what they say. They've issued denials in the past, but within days, I know that they've sat down with, if you remember, it'll be on the members website years ago. They have a specific guy that deals with all of this for FSG, right? and he's not high ranking or anything like that. Like, you know, these accounts, you know, it's how they always say high ranking officials out there discussing a potential sale, right? Why is it always high ranking? Why is it no one someone that's still important, but, you know, he's maybe not a director or what? Do you know what I mean? Why is it always high ranking? It's to give emphasis on, you need to believe this because it's really exciting. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't work like that. They have a guy, FSG, that goes and meets the people that are interested in their various business organizations. And I know for a fact that this guy has sat down with people to do with Liverpool Football Club previously in America. It's a long time ago. I can't remember. It will be on the site, I'm sure, if you search it. And he's like a negotiator. He's like the first guy. Do you know what I mean? And he goes and listens. And he goes there and he goes, no, it's not for sale, but tell me what you want and I'll relay it back, you know, what you're interested in. I forget his name, but he's a very, very important person within FSG. But I don't think you would see him on an About Us page. You will never have read about him to do with Liverpool Football Club. But they have this one guy. And he's the main man. And then if it's serious, then that's when they all go and have a sit down. And I remember at the time that FSG said, no, we're not interested in selling Liverpool Football Club. But at the same time, this guy was meeting these people and did meet these people that were interested in Liverpool Football Club. It's many years ago. But he's not high ranking, but he's the one that goes around everywhere. So trust me, this guy will be involved in anything if it goes down. So we've established that Liverpool Football Club is for sale, regardless of what they tell you. I think FSG will sell Liverpool Football Club. I don't think they are actively in a massive rush to do so, but I've always maintained that they will. And I do think they want to further investments in the US. Yes, we know about the golf and all this and this other stuff, right? I don't think they're interested in Liverpool or Liverpool Football Club. They've made a mass amount of money. And they know that they can recoup, you know, well, not recoup, they know they can walk away with a great deal of money that would enable them to be absolutely massive in the US. So we know that. Then I want to, you know, like I say, before all this nonsense started, really, which has started while I've been away, several weeks ago, I said on the members' website about Dynasty Equity and what they're trying to do in the Middle East. And I have been tracking them for weeks now, right? So much stuff you won't believe. I've not put any of it out anywhere, only on the members' website did I say. And you don't need to be on the members' website because I've read it to you exactly what I said on there. And then I've come to the conclusion and information that's been provided to me that this dude, Caden Cornwell, has been talking about plans for Dynasty Equity and certain things that they may be involved with, all right? So he's the man that you need to listen out for. So you want to search him, you want to listen to him. If you see him on podcasts, if you see him in videos, this is the dude that you want to listen to. And there we go. So, and just to remind you that part of their team, their senior advisor is David Ginsberg, who of course is the vice president of FSG and the vice chairman of Liverpool Football Club. And he's advising them what to invest in, basically, the good opportunities. So imagine you own something, right? And you're an advisor to this company, right? And you go to them and you go, I think you should invest in my company. What they're going to say, why is that? Well, because I'm going to sell up soon and then we can make a bit of money and you'll be all right. Why else would Dynasty Equity get involved with Liverpool Football Club and Fenway? They have got the inside track from this gentleman here, all right? So I don't know if I've done well explaining any of this. Like I say, I've been away for a couple of weeks and I'm not very well. But I've been wanting to talk to you about it for a while. And I guess another reason for the video is just to warn you, just to be a little bit cautionary about some of the claims that you're seeing, because the people that are out there that, you know, whatever the motives, right? But we know that what the main motive is, they're just trying to, they know if you were going to write an article today, a blog article, and you're going to post it to Liverpool fans, right? What topics are going to get you the most views, the most interaction? I can tell you right now, Liverpool Football Club being sold, right? Or possibly being sold, or edging around it a little bit. Because if you think about it, this account on X, Indy or whatever. It doesn't say Liverpool Football Club, does it? Reliable source has told us that high-ranking FSG officials are currently in Saudi Arabia regarding investment. It doesn't say investment in Liverpool Football Club. So it's a very, very clever play, some people might think, because some fans will read that and think, oh, that means Liverpool, not knowing about the other stuff that's going on. So these accounts, anyway. So Liverpool Football Club, that's going to get you attention right now. How many people, all right, to do with Liverpool Football Club? Not the genuine ones, the credible ones, the nice people like Miserable Martin, for example, at Red Raw LFC. I know he's done a video, is Liverpool about to be sold? You should go and watch it. It's a very good video. I watched it earlier. Not him, but the ones that are out there that are trying to, use the big fancy thumbnails and the dramatic fucking, whatevers, and the people on Twitter that are trying to link you into their websites with thousands of fucking adverts to click and close before you can fucking read anything. Right? The subjects they're going to use is Liverpool Football Club, and they're going to mislead you. They're going to be talking to you about Martin Zubimendi, which that account is also talking about, all right? And they're up because people have got an interest in that situation, and obviously the contract situations. That's it, all right? So they're the big talking topics at the moment, and the biggest one of them all, I think, is Liverpool Football Club for sale. You could maybe turn around to me and say, well, you've just made a video about it. Well, yeah, because I'm trying to tell you about stuff that I have mentioned prior to all of this exploding and these rumours, right? So before you were seeing any of this shit, I was talking about it. And my peoples around here know that I come with good intentions and good faith. And I've been talking about this chap on my streams and that for weeks and weeks and weeks, if not months, since this Dynasty Equity stuff came out. So people ask me, what do you think? I've told you in the video what I think about the situation. And I'm also here to try and warn people just to be careful with the social media stuff, because if they, if they saw an FSG personality in one of those regions, they're gonna tweet it out there. They're gonna post it out. Oh, look, there's a picture of who is it? Oh, I wonder if Liverpool's for sale, just to try and tap on the emotions or tap into the emotions of the fans that would really like to see a change. And I am one of those people that would like to see a change. And it would make me, right? It would help me if I agreed with the claims I'm seeing. Because I'd say, well, I told you about this weeks ago, guys, didn't I? Told you about this weeks ago. Now look, it's all over. So, I must be right. DKB, Dunk knows best and all that. But I'm not trying to latch onto it because I think it's bullshit. And I think they're manipulating the other stuff. However, Liverpool Football Club is for sale, all right? They are speaking to people continually about everything. And of course, when that comes up, if something comes up that fancies it, that they're fancied, they'll go for it. If you're on the members' website, please do go and read that email from a few weeks ago. It's very interesting. It was on the podcast as well. So yeah, that's it. So there are a lot of reasons, there are a lot of things that point to FSG preparing for a sale. But I also know we've said this every year, more or less, since they've come in. So I don't think they're actively looking to sell the club. But if someone comes along and says, and it's in interest, then yes. So in answer to your question, is the club for sale? Yes, it's always for sale. If you appreciate this video, doesn't mean you agree with me or endorse it, wherever. If you appreciate it, please thumbs up this video. Please drop me a comment. I think the comments are very important, because you should, if you watch a video that you're interested in, depending on when you watch it, there might not be many comments. I can assure you you should always give 2 days on a video, pop back, see what people have said. Look out for Rich T if he's in the comments. Very, very intelligent guy. Connections to, that region out there, the royal families, people that might be interested in Liverpool Football Club. He is the man, right? And I've met Rich, and he's a fucking really good guy. And he would never in a million years mislead you. And he's very, very knowledgeable, as are many others on the members' website. But he's the one that I like to see what he's been saying. Maybe I could find some comments. I'm sure he wouldn't mind. Obviously, I'm not logged into my own members' website. Let's have a look. Executive Lounge. It's on here somewhere. Liverpool for sale ? That was me back in right at the beginning of September. It's a very, very good email. And I must say that when Dynasty Equity invested into the club, when I discovered FSG's vice chairman was a senior advisor. It created a lot of suspicion to me personally. He has the inside track. Dynasty will know exactly what their plans are, FSG's plans are, thanks to his input. I can't see any other reason that they'd invest as a minority partner unless they know sale was coming down the line. Maybe I'm being too simple with that. A financial or business expert, I'm not. I'm not suggesting there's someone already sniffing around the club, by the way, or that someone is already lined up. There's a response here from Rich, but it wouldn't make sense for me to read it all out to you because he's addressing the email. I'd have to read that to you for it to make sense. I think the last option for the club is where we'll be sold, as there are a few private equity funds that want to buy a football club. It's my chick. I'll have to message her. I'll call you back in a minute. Right, just 1 second. I think the last option for the club is where we'll be sold, as there are a few private equity funds that want to buy a football club. From those I know of, as it's a high risk reward situation. I believe if the figures were right for the royal family of Dubai or one of their vehicles, they would buy LFC. And we were talking about the new management structure at Liverpool Football Club, the changes that FSG have seen recently since they put the club up and it didn't work because Man United was up and all that. Rich said senior management in place is normally attractive when selling a business, although the incoming purchaser may want their own people. And then he was talking about my post that I just spoke to you about when Dynasty Equity invested and how I was suspicious. And he said, agree with this, Dunk. Probably this was to release some funds back to FSG investors, and Dynasty came in on the understanding they make money in X number of years. A lot of investment companies look at a 3 to 5 year exit if they aren't getting a yearly return. I could go on forever. I got my chick waiting for me on a lunch break back in England. But I think I've given you something to consider there. I hope I've made sense. Please let me know if it's made sense. If it hasn't, I'll answer your questions in the comment section of the video. So, all right, guys. Yeah, so if you appreciate the video, please thumbs up the video. Please drop me a comment. If you want to buy me a cup of coffee, please hit the super thanks button. If it's not there under the video, you can read the video description. There's other ways of supporting me in my efforts here with this channel. And of course, I'd love you to join the newsletter, the chat room, and follow me on social media. All right, guys, you take care, and I'll speak to you real soon.